How French Women Dress in Summer 2026, Minimal Elegant Looks with Hermès. Welcome to Parisian Outfits, where I explore timeless elegance through a modern lens. And today, I'm diving into how French women dress in Summer 2026 with a minimal, refined aesthetic inspired by Hermès. I think there's something endlessly fascinating about how effortless their style appears, yet every detail feels intentional. In my experience, true elegance is rarely loud. It's quiet, controlled, and deeply confident. What I find interesting is how simplicity often leaves a stronger impression than anything overly styled. Have you ever wondered why French outfits feel so naturally sophisticated? The beauty of understated style. I think French women understand that less truly is more. In my experience, reducing visual noise in an outfit allows each piece to breathe. Unlike trend-heavy wardrobes, their approach feels calm and consistent. What I find interesting is how restraint can actually feel more expressive than excess. A neutral palette that feels alive. I think the color palette is the quiet foundation of their style. In my experience, tones like ivory, tan, navy, and black create harmony without effort. What I find interesting is how these shades reflect light beautifully in summer, making outfits feel soft rather than flat. Have you ever noticed how neutrals can feel warmer in sunlight? The importance of fabric. I think fabric choice is often overlooked, yet it defines everything. In my experience, breathable materials like linen, cotton, and silk elevate even the simplest silhouettes. Unlike synthetic-heavy outfits, natural fabrics move with ease and feel luxurious. What I find interesting is how texture alone can make an outfit feel expensive. Effortless summer silhouettes. I think French summer outfits rely heavily on relaxed yet intentional silhouettes. In my experience, slightly loose cuts feel more elegant than tight, restrictive ones. What I find interesting is how movement adds life to an outfit without needing embellishment. Do you prefer structure or flow when dressing for warm weather? The timeless white shirt. I think a white shirt is one of the most defining pieces in this style. In my experience, it adapts effortlessly to any setting, from casual to refined. Unlike statement tops, it doesn't demand attention, but always delivers presence. What I find interesting is how versatility often outweighs novelty. Relaxed tailoring for summer. I think tailoring doesn't disappear in summer, it simply becomes lighter. In my experience, unlined blazers and soft trousers create structure without heaviness. What I find interesting is how this balance allows elegance to remain even in the heat. Have you ever tried wearing tailoring in a more relaxed way? Dresses that feel natural. I think summer dresses are where French style feels most poetic. In my experience, simple cuts with subtle details create the most impact. Unlike overly decorated dresses, these feel calm and wearable. What I find interesting is how simplicity often feels more romantic than excess. Denim with a refined touch. I think denim is approached with intention rather than trendiness. In my experience, classic cuts and clean finishes always look more elevated. What I find interesting is how even casual pieces can feel sophisticated when styled thoughtfully. Do you lean toward classic denim or experimental styles? Accessories that whisper. I think French women treat accessories as finishing touches, not focal points. In my experience, a leather belt, a silk scarf, or a structured bag is enough. Unlike maximalist styling, this approach feels controlled and elegant. What I find interesting is how subtle details can carry so much presence. Footwear that balances comfort and style. I think shoes are chosen with both aesthetics and practicality in mind. In my experience, sandals, loafers, and low heels create a grounded elegance. What I find interesting is how comfort often enhances confidence rather than compromising style. Have you ever noticed how the right shoes can change how you walk? Layering lightly. I think layering in summer is about adding depth without weight. In my experience, a light scarf or a soft blazer can transform an outfit instantly. Unlike heavy layering, this feels effortless and breathable. What I find interesting is how small additions can create a complete look. Confidence as the core. I think confidence is the most essential element of French style. In my experience, it's not about what you wear, but how you wear it. Unlike overly styled outfits, confidence makes simplicity shine. What I find interesting is how ease often feels more luxurious than perfection. Balancing masculine and feminine energy. I think the mix of masculine and feminine pieces creates depth. In my experience, pairing structured items with soft fabrics feels modern and balanced. What I find interesting is how contrast brings harmony rather than conflict. Do you enjoy mixing different style energies in your outfits? Investing in timeless pieces. I think French wardrobes are built slowly, with intention. In my experience, investing in quality pieces reduces the need for constant shopping. Unlike fast fashion cycles, this approach feels sustainable and personal. What I find interesting is how timeless items always find their place. Repetition as a signature. I think repeating outfits is part of the charm. In my experience, it builds a recognizable and authentic style. What I find interesting is how consistency can feel more stylish than constant change. Have you ever embraced outfit repetition as part of your identity? Natural beauty completes the look. I think beauty choices are intentionally understated. In my experience, minimal makeup and natural hair align perfectly with the clothing. Unlike heavy styling, this approach feels fresh and real. What I find interesting is how simplicity enhances individuality. Dressing for real-life moments. I think French style is deeply connected to everyday life. In my experience, outfits are designed to move through different moments seamlessly. What I find interesting is how practicality doesn't take away from elegance. It supports it. Have you ever chosen comfort and still felt incredibly stylish? Creating your own version. I think the key is not to copy but to interpret. In my experience, adapting these ideas to your own lifestyle makes them meaningful. Unlike rigid rules, this approach allows freedom within structure. What I find interesting is how personal style evolves naturally over time. final thought on effortless elegance. I think French summer style is ultimately about intention, balance, and ease. In my experience, the most beautiful outfits are the ones that feel natural and unforced. What I find interesting is how simplicity, when done thoughtfully, becomes unforgettable. So tell me, what element of French style would you bring into your wardrobe this summer? And if you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to subscribe to Parisian Outfits for more timeless inspiration.